Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. It's Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the weekly comic book roundup, and we're at the point of kind of everything else, really. Spider-Man, the other cosmic Marvel stuff, as well as movie tie-ins. So let's get started, shall we? With I actually forgot what number it is. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, number 8. And in all honesty, no, the cover has nothing to do with the book. It's a variant cover, Battle Lines. So yeah, it's actually really cool. I'm glad I snagged it actually. So where we left off, Gwen Stacy of Earth 65 was having some issues with her symbiote. So she said there's only one person to talk to, Dr. Elsa Brock. So we open the issue up at Oscorp. Harry is waiting on Gwen. Gwen arrives. They banter a bit and then go in. Apparently there's no record of Elsa Brock working there, however. So they go investigate. They go to where her office is, and it's no longer anyone's office. So they continue on, and Gwen's at band practice, and MJ's being a bit tyrannical. Understandable, because, the show we've got coming up is their big chance. Their comeback. Everything's got to be perfect. So they go through practice. In the middle, one of Gwen's spiders ends up on MJ. So they stop practicing and well, it suggests that Gwen go for a walk. So she swings out of the building, goes for a swing through the city, and comes upon some thieves, and they smash them around a bit. They very obviously taking out her frustrations. And one of them is getting fixed up by Dr. Warren, but he discovers a spider on the thug. So he goes to talk to Man-Wolf and explains he's got a spider here for him. They've got a piece of her, basically. So Man-Wolf tells Dr. Warren it's time to prove that he's a predator. It's time to kill the Spider-Woman. And so she's such a little bummed because she's well aware that she went a little too far. So next night at the show, Gwen's on time and she gets ready and they're playing, and then suddenly her spider sense goes off and she's trying to ignore it, but then she sees the bomb. And when she webs up one, she sees the other bombs. And the place goes explodey. That's where the issue ends. Man, I love that cover. Anyway, moving on to The Punisher number 11. So where we left off, Frank is still in Begalia, and working his way up the food chain. Also, Jigsaw, his longtime nemesis, had just rode off on a motorcycle with his newfound ally, Sister Mercy, tied to the end, or tied to the back. And so, yeah, it is not going well for Jigsaw and his people. So, Frank says goodbye to Sister Mercy. We cut to the Capitol building. Baron Zemo's talking with some representatives from other nations who are not too keen on backing Megalia's bid for legitimacy. Though interrupted by Jigsaw calling. He shouts at them a bit. And the ambassador says, asks him if he's okay, but it's like, oh, yeah, fuck, Oh, the phone call, I'm having a pool put in my house. It's been very... He leaves, and Punisher catches up to Jigsaw and his cronies. And then Zemo leaves and blows up the Capitol building. And to be honest, it looks like he used a nuke. Must have been a low-yield nuke, but still. It looks pretty much like a nuke. Of course, Jigsaw, you can't, basically, you can't beat him. He just blew up his own friggin' country. Frank manages to catch up with Zemo, though Zemo doesn't realize it at first. Zemo has hopped on into Hydra Air 1, and they lift off, but Frank's managed to climb on board, and, he's on the plane. So he orders the pilot to, basically tells under command to fire on them. So Zemo, when the pilot refuses, Zemo shoots him and does just that. Then he ejects himself from the plane. And Punisher gets in. And he manages to crash it into the ocean. And then, And, Zemo says that, Megalia's fallen. Give me New York. And thus ends that arc. Moving on to Meet the Sprawls, number 4. So where we left off, the man in the trench coat had tracked down the Warners, namely Alice. However, Alice, it turns out, had killed the man with her bare hands. So, we start with a flashback to the invasion of the Kree planet Ogilon. That's the best I can do. When Gloria, and during this, Carl informed Gloria they're being transferred to Earth, long-term undercover. But then she tells him that she's pregnant. So Gloria turns on Carl, and back at home, You know, like, kind of, okay, this is, don't worry, the neighbors aren't. There's been a cover story. We're all, everything's don't. Gloria asks if Carl knew that the man was tracking them. Carl admits that he did, and then Gloria beats the crap out of him. But he explains he didn't think that dude would find him so fast. Figured he could stop him. But Alice did. Of course, this is while he's getting beaten up by his wife. And they can take down Project Blossom tonight. And so Carl calls up Moloth and tells him what's going on. And Moloth finishes the phone call by, like, hey, tell Alice that I'm proud of her. Anyway, so they go over the plan. Gloria's going to have Madison and Alice with her. And well, Carl's got to go in alone. And so we get a somewhat of a name for the man in the overcoat, Agent Echo Lima. Well, it turns out he's being asked for a sit rep. So Carl takes his form and targets are down. The Warner family is dead. The car ride between Gloria, Madison, and Alice is a bit tense. So Carl arrives at the base and is given the password tried on him, but he doesn't know it, so he ends up killing the guard. And so Gloria, masquerading as the senator from earlier in the series, said she's here to inspect Project Blossom, and is it this hour? That's why they call it a surprise inspection. It's just committee flexing. Carl's went to Agent Echo Lima's office and discovered how many Skrull families he's taken down. It's quite a few. Meanwhile, the girls hear about a subject. So, of course, they're made, and, well, the attack starts up. The girls survive. And then Carl and Gloria open the two vaults, and their other daughter, or Ivy is the subject. So Carl meets with Moloth. And Moloth says, this is a victory for the Skrull Empire. And Carl says that he hasn't done what he's done for the Skrull Empire. The Moloth shoots him and says, neither have I. As to whether or not Carl's dead, I'm not yet sure, but we'll have to see. He's currently lying out in the rain with smoking a hole in his chest. So. Alright, moving on to Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys the Marvel Universe number 5. Or 4, 3. Number 3. time travel. Smoke on my head. So, where we left off, turns out that Lisa Castle, Frank Castle's daughter, just got into a fight at school. And keeping an eye on her is her Uncle Fredo. And you're like, oh god, I'm gonna have to have the talk with her. But no. So he told us superhero stories, how he became the Phoenix, but then a retelling of the Phoenix saga with Cosmic Ghost Rider as the Phoenix, as Cosmic Ghost Rider Phoenix, Cosmic Ghost Phoenix Rider, yeah. But then it switched over to Jean, and well, the Phoenix has changed. You know, she has more in common with Jean. So you know, but yeah, and he sat out. Cosmic Ghost Rider sat out of the fight with the Imperial Guard because he has friends on both sides, and you know, he doesn't want to. He'd rather not fight. Pick a side there. Then came the investigation of Emma Frost's attempted murder. This was back during the Grant Morrison run, so it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, but they figured it was one. You know, it was one of the cuckoos, and yeah. Turns out that the fight that Lisa got into, she beat up some bullies. The older boys are always picking on kids in her class. And it's like, hey, good for you. I mean, you can't do things like that. And then she tells another story about it, about him teaming up with Wolverine, which is basically taking the entire plot of Punisher number 17 from the 2001 run and is replacing Punisher with Cosmic Ghost Rider. Right down to shooting Wolverine in the nuts and running him over with a steamroller. But then Frank shows up. They talk a bit. Go have a beer. Frank, Cosmic Ghost Rider, tells Frank tells him the Days of Future Past story, but with him, yeah. So they go in the garage to have a beer. But turns out that Frank is on to Frank. As it turns out that his Uncle Fredo died in Sicily before he was born. And you got a really nice shot of young Frank, and the way the lighting is set up, it almost looks as though he's already wearing the Punisher shirt. So, yeah. I'm actually surprised that this is not... I would think that point would have come in the next issue. I think this is a 5-issue series. It's 4 issues, then okay. Yeah, alright. But, anyways, moving on to Star Wars Age of Rebellion, Unsolo. Everybody's favorite scoundrel. So, where we left... This takes place shortly after the first Star Wars movie. For those of you who might not have the clearest recollection, turns out that they managed to get the 17,000 that Ben Kenobi promised. Han and Chewie, that is. So, and they got it converted into Imperial credits. So they can now pay off Jabba and clean up the Falcon. Pop off some of the dents to rewire the hyperdrive couplers, And they can go anywhere. But where do they want to go? They don't know either, though. And neither Han or Chewie really has that place in mind. So Luke comes in and they talk. He basically talks them into doing a supply run for the rebellion. So at Spaceport, runs into some old smuggler pals. Bit of a bar fight breaks out, but no. But Han managed to break it up, and they figure, when one of the rebels calls him Sir, they figure, yes, sir, huh? So you're a big time rebel leader now. And so it turns out, after a few hours of drinking, they get on the Falcon. And so they go to do the job they've got. And turns out these guys are planning on going next, hitting up the remains of Alderaan. See, it's a rich planet. There's probably tons of good stuff floating around there in space. But Han's like, no, it's just asteroids and dust. But of course they don't believe him. And so they start popping off blaster rifle shots and catch the attention of the Empire. And so Han grabs the credits and they make a break for it. But their smuggler pal, Han and Chewie hit shotgun, but it turns out their smuggler pals have been captured and the Empire wants their cut. So Han drops the supply boxes that Luke had brought onto the Falcon and then gives the Imperials their cut. And they're like, no, hey. You do the all run on your own. I got my own stuff to do. Well, they turns out they made some arrangements, and they had to give up the 17,000. Just to get everything back. But they make it to Kalimdarian, which is the planet that they were sent to in the first place. And so the atmosphere of the planet is not entirely habitable. So the serum that he's bringing is going to save everyone at the base. But he needs to take a message to this race on Kuros. And so flies off, First he's like, no. But Chewie says, oh, hey, do it a favor to me. And do it for me. You owe me. Just finds, this is the last word he has for anyone. Because he's definitely not part of the rebellion. Which, of course, we all know would, over the next few years, change. Yeah, nice little fun Han Solo story. Anyways, the last comic of the week. Finally, after much waiting, the conclusion of Terminator Sector War. Okay, so it's been a few months since the last one came out. Let's reacquaint ourselves. So, this happens the same night as the first Terminator movie. Or at least the first. NYPD officer Lucy Castro is the target of a Terminator who's gone back to 1984, New York, obviously, in order to kill her and her unborn daughter. She's had to make deals with a few devils, and Well, she's not. She's not exact. She's a transit department, and the Terminator is too. He's following her. Or Metropolitan Transit Authority. There we go. They catch up. A bit of a fight. A bit of a discussion too, but Castro runs and that Premier explains that he has system redundancy, so she can't injure him. But you know what can injure him? A big ass bulldozer. That's what. And so she pushes him with a bulldozer off of into the ocean, swims out. And then the next day, well, for one thing, her cruiser's been stripped. She gets on the subway, looking like hell. Goes to the 39th precinct, takes a shower, destroys some evidence, says for one of the deals she made. Turns in her badge and her gun, and while she's doing this, she hears about what happened the previous night in California. Apparently one guy did all this hunting some woman. He took dude soaked up a lot of damage and kept going. Okay, by now we're at the point of the end of the Terminator. But she gets the name of she looks up the name of the woman involved, Sarah Connor. She goes by to get Port Authority. And with luck, she'll make it to LA by the weekend. She'll find Sarah Connor because she thinks the two of them have something to talk about. And that is the end. Again, finally. I gotta say, this book actually started off really strong, and if it had actually come out on time, I think I'd be a little less I think I'd be a little more stoked about it. But yeah, not a bad conclusion. I presume this to mean that Castro was one of the people who trained Sarah between Terminator 1 and 2. But anyway, that's it for this week. Well, that's it for for the Wednesday night portion. For this week, generally for this week, we will be back with a special edition of the Weekly Comic Book Roundup on Saturday, featuring my my haul from Free Comic Book Day, which is on Saturday, and there might be a few things we pick up along the way as well, just odds and ends. Tomorrow, the plan is to do the war report, so to speak, for War of the Realms, covering the first month's events of the story arc, covering basically all of the issues, all the individual books I picked up relating to it. What happened, and where we're at going in. At the beginning of this month. I've been delaying it a little bit because I did manage to get the first Venom tie-in issue, and I'm hoping maybe I can get it here sooner rather than later. So that'll either be up tomorrow or Friday. Then after our after the Weekly Comic Book Rundown special, the Free Comic Book Day special, we'll be doing another Building the Team. And yeah, got some other stuff planned out as well, including talking about an upcoming run on X-Men and kind of irritation I have with it. More on the administrative side than the actual story side, though. Anyway, so that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I put new content. And as always, links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. And this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying live long and rock hard.